Good morning and welcome to Live at the Legislature, where every week we talk about what's going on at the state capitol. For the House majority portion of the show today, we have Representative Henry J.C. Aquino, who represents District 38, Waipahu. Representative Aquino is also chair of the House Transportation Committee. Good morning, Representative.
Hi, good morning, James.
Good to see you. Well, we have about 1 week left in the 2021 legislative session. And as chair of the House Transportation Committee, could you give our viewers an idea of what important bills have moved through your committee this session?
Thank you, James. And so yes, we are in the thick of things during conference. There's a bunch of important House and Senate bills that we've gone through. But here's some of the ones I'd like to highlight. House Bill 552, which basically authorizes EV, electric vehicle adoption goals for the state, all the state agencies in less than 10 years. I think it's important really for government to kind of lead the way in this. Another bill really is House Bill 333, which is our peer-to-peer regulatory framework bill, as well as Senate Bill 1401 and 1402, which is basically complete streets reporting, just so that we can get a better handle on that. So these are some of the bills that we are working on right now.
Complete streets recording, is that the red light bill? Is that what that's called?
No, it's complete streets reporting requirements for DOT to look at how we can better utilize the funding for complete streets in our communities.
I see. Oh, yes. Well, with that said, what are some of the critical transportation needs in our state?
Well, right now, I mean, you can name a whole bunch of them, really. I think some of the bigger needs are really just transportation projects that increase traffic capacity throughout our state. That's one. I think further improvements for our roadways and our bridges are another. Really planning for resiliency and adaptation for our airports and harbors, very key infrastructure pieces for our whole entire state. In addition to public transportation options such as rail. I mean, obviously there's some concerns regarding that project, but I think it's still important to have that project be seen through.
Yeah, infrastructure doesn't stop. It always needs to be renewed. And
yeah, I mean, especially James. I mean, recently we've gotten our grade regarding our infrastructure system statewide, and passing grade nonetheless. But still, I think the state and its residents and our visitors would really like to see our grade improve over time. So, a D plus is something I think that we have a lot of room to improve.
Yeah, I would say so. And on that subject, with the President Biden's American Jobs Plan, which many people think of as a infrastructure plan, do you think that's going to be a significant help in Hawaii? Is that going to help us get back to a place where we get a better grade in infrastructure?
I really hope so, and I think that's the hope. Speaking with Senator Schatz last week, I mean, he highlighted a whole bunch of different industries and areas that we can really improve on, that the plan is hoping to address. Not just transportation infrastructure, but improvements and increasing housing for all of our residents. Clean energy industry. Really moving forward in the clean transportation. As well as broadband availability. I mean, I think COVID has really highlighted that void that I think that this plan would really try to bolster. So those are some of the things that are all big pluses for our state. Obviously, we'd like to see, these things happen. I know it's a work in progress, but I think that's some of the things that we can expect.
Yeah, it's not just potholes. It's the bigger picture. It's how we can make our country back up to the infrastructure it used to have. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about your community, District 38 Waipahu. What bills have been introduced this session that are going to benefit the residents in your community?
Thank you for that question. I mean, our community, like many others throughout our state, has been impacted by the pandemic. And, a lot of our mom and pops in our community have been tremendously impacted. So, co-signing that commercial rent relief bill, which I think is still in play, is, I think it's going to be really beneficial for not just small businesses, but the people that they employ, which is, all of our residents. So I think that would tremendously benefit my community as well as many others. There's a few resolutions that I introduced specific to Waipahu. There's a certain resol that was adopted that asks our city partners, DTS, Department of Transportation Services, to increase traffic calming throughout different key areas of Waipahu. This was an issue that's been brought up numerous times by residents, especially in areas where there's a good number of senior housing as well as some schools. So we just wanted to make sure that we can make our roadways safer for all users in those key areas. There was also a resolution that myself and the Waipahu delegation had introduced looking at making improvements to the Waipahu Town Core, specifically Hans Larange Park, which is right in the heart of my district and the community of Waipahu. And, I think like many other communities, we faced, just tremendous impacts regarding homelessness. And because the park has been closed for a few years now, that's really a place where we're seeing a lot of activity there. So I think making those improvements to really highlight a big cultural and historical asset to our community would be beneficial, not for just residents, but people that visit our community. That park is really a asset, and I really say that because, a lot of different folks come to the park to play baseball. At one point in time, there was a winter baseball league. Hawaii Pacific University and high school leagues and other baseball leagues, they have utilized the park. So I just really feel that these resolutions would be truly beneficial to our community. And it's really just trying to work out our partnerships with the city.
Sounds good. I've been out there playing baseball myself and look forward to that revitalization. Well, thank you very much. It's been great hearing from you this morning and having you as a guest on the show.
Thanks, James. Thank you, everybody.
And for all of you viewers in Olelo, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Aloha.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Olelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.